left-hand group. And also cost efficiency. So this is, technologies are there to save costs in provisioning. Everything's reservationless. It's iSCSI, which means you save costs on your any fibre infrastructure that you need, and the management around that. So there are very real cost savings in moving to or staying with an iSCSI SAN, and also the technologies within P4000. So I'm not sure I'm going with time, but are there any questions on P4000? We will show you a demo today as well. So the next step I'll talk about is the way you collect your data and store once. So backup, I probably hear the most about that as a pain point at the moment with my customers, because data's growing so much. Apart from how do I store it, how do I back it up, how do I archive it, what's HP's solution there? And a big part of the HP solution is called Store Once. So the first productized version of Store Once is what we call our D2D product range. It's disk-based backup. Store Once is a deduplication algorithm developed by HP Labs. And we have white papers that show this is the highest performing deduplication algorithm in the market. With the devices, so they're all based on ProLine hardware. So these aren't grey boxes that they're getting out of China and then putting the dedupe algorithm on top of. It's all ProLine, it all has ILO, it all has the same common management across everything. And they scale and have very high performance. So they start quite low, and they scale all the way up to a data center device, which is 512 terabytes of usable capacity. And I'll show you what the product range looks like. But what you'll see, I alluded to this before, Store Once is software, and it will slowly be ported. It's a portable algorithm, it will be ported to other products in the storage portfolio over time. And that's certainly in the roadmap. But at the moment, where HP sees dedupe having a real impact is in backup. Because dedupe algorithms at the moment really affect, or can affect performance if it's running on the primary storage. So there are very few storage vendors actually doing that. So the problems, meeting backup windows is probably one of the biggest problems we hear about. In effect, you need to be able to back up your data faster. Disaster recovery is complex. I think we've spoken about that with storage, but it can also be complex with your backup data. You need to have a solution for that. If you have a lot of remote offices around, it becomes very expensive. So people running around to every site changing tapes, it can be unreliable. So we need a solution about managing remote offices. And then it's okay to back it up, but how long does it take to restore? And we need to address fast restores as well. So you might think a lot of these have to do with tape. Certainly HP's tape business is not going anywhere. HP sees tape as absolutely strategic to our portfolio. The role is becoming slightly different. And what we're seeing is our customers are keeping more of their data on disk-based backup. So you have fast backup, fast recoveries for a certain period of time. And then you just go to tape less often. And the tape handling costs, the vaulting costs of tape reduce significantly. Some of our competitors have been saying that tape is dead for years. And what we're finding is they're now eating those words and they're reintroducing tape into their portfolio. And what it's becoming is another tier of storage. When you look at archiving solutions, you can archive to tape, and there are technologies like LTFS, which is a linear tape file system, which allows you to treat tape as like a USB key on your machines. So that's involved. We're not talking about that today, but I guess what I'm saying is this backup is not the only solution. So dedupe, the benefits of dedupe are obvious. It's about shrinking the amount of physical storage you need. You're buying less, you're powering, you're cooling less storage, and that's great. What it also means is that your backups can be faster because you're only backing up changes in your environment. The issues that we've seen, what we call deduplication 1.0, is that certainly with some of our competitors, it's quite a complex environment. So through acquisition, there is different types of dedupe algorithms out there, and they're not compatible with each other. So what it means is that you're deduping in one spot, but then to move that anywhere else, you're rehydrating that data, moving it, deduping it again. So there's complexity and there's cost. and there are limits to what you can do. So HP's been working a lot on how do we make the whole dedupe ecosystem more seamless. And the way we do that is what we call federated deduplication. And I'll take you through the products that enable this. But ultimately, a key point is that the store once algorithm is one portable algorithm for the whole company. So there isn't that legacy of acquisitions where we have to manage multiple. And through that, we can start to consolidate the way we back up our data, the way we dedupe it, the way we move it around the organisation. So what we have is an environment, a dedupe and a disk-based backup environment that we can manage centrally. Again, we can scale it out because of the architecture of these devices, and you'll see a lot of common themes. They scale out, common infrastructure. So I see that it looks like our other servers and disk shelves. And we also build in HA into these environments because we understand that if it's holding all your data, you need it to be highly available as well. So the way this works is, if you look at your data centers, we have large disk backup appliances, and we can have them replicating low bandwidth to a DR site. So these devices, they can be CIFS, NFS, or virtual tape libraries as targets for your backup software. So, but the replication is managed by the devices themselves. So all of a sudden you have that replication happening, you've got copies on both sides. You might cut off the tape, either at your DR site or at your production site, but somewhere along the line you're going to cut off the tape as an absolute last resort. Where we've seen the real dramatic increases in capability, when we start to look at other sites, remote sites, small offices, and especially with Data Protector 7, there is a lot of the puzzle for HP has come together in very recent times. So what that means is we now have source site deduplication in software. So it's a very small site. You can just run an agent on your server and do software-based deduplication using the same algorithm, but just on your source side, and low bandwidth replicating that into your central site. So it means you don't have to have expensive backup appliances or backup servers on that remote site. When it comes to regional offices, you can also have sort of server-side dedupe. So you can actually drop a small appliance in or a backup server, but again, it's the same algorithm. You back up to that appliance, and that appliance automatically replicates back to the data center. What you have is an environment where you're never rehydrating that data again. And at the moment, nobody can do that apart from HP. Anyone have any questions on that? Okay. So in terms of what the product portfolio looks like, as I said, scalable, common hardware, starting at, I guess, like I said, the source side dedupe, which is in software as part of DP7. But then we have small appliances starting from 1U all the way to the B6200, which is very large. In terms of performance, 100 terabytes an hour that can achieve now. So, and that's 3 times our nearest competitor. Backup performance, 40 terabytes an hour, scales to 512 terabytes. If you take in the dedupe ratio of 20:1, that can store 10 petabytes of data on. So again, this isn't going to be for everyone, but there is an offering, for whatever size you need. And it's all one technology. So you might say, well, I don't run Data Protector, I run Symantec, I run another backup piece of software. So this is all based on open standards. So you can run whatever backup software you like. We integrate better with Data Protector. There are more hooks, obviously, and that's just the way it is. But certainly, if you're running Symantec, you can achieve the same levels of performance. Ultimately, at its simplest level, this can be a VTL target for any of those backup software. So, in terms of content, that's it. Did anyone have any questions? There's a fair bit there. If there are no questions, what we're going to do is actually show you a demonstration of multi-site with P4000. So we'll do that. We hope it works. It's a lot.